Hi, this is Martin Bidney. A boy who was drawing a picture delighted his dad. What is that? It is God. I'm excited. Who knows what God looks like? Dad asked him. Not me. Just wait till I'm done, said the son, and you'll see. I'm thinking the story is maybe a fable. I'll tell you the moral as well as I'm able. The boy, who's adorable, captured my heart. He feels, and he knows it, the secret of art. The apple meant fig leaf. Discovering passion would also require the inventing of fashion. The two we combine in a lifestyle. Agree? You author a novel, you're making a me. Your lifetime is wealth, 'tis a field you are sowing. The crops that you water are means of your growing. You, artists, are molding each moment a form, embodying doctrine that breathing is warm. We nothing may know of the ultimate being, yet shaped is the nameless when, hearing and seeing and sculpting and painting the form of the Lord, you share in creation and gain its reward. A parable, scripture, or psalm is a drawing of that which is godlike, the spirit mind awing. Our language itself is a painting, oblique, at least of effects, of the being we seek. The child is my seer, my mentor and teacher. The impulse to life aim, implying a reacher, is based on a mission that faith underlies. In will to achieve, our creators are wise. Have faith that the skills which within you are planted empower your plan. Let no effort be scanted. The thought of the child isn't alien or odd. My lines are a sort of a portrait of God. Hi, this is Martin Bidney. I'm back again, and I write a poem every day of my life. I publish them in books available from Amazon, like this one, Book of the Amphibrach. An amphibrach means la la la, so it shows that I'm basically a rhythm poet. La 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 la. In fact, some people say I remind them of Dr. Seuss. Here we go with today's poem. On cab driver's arm, a tattoo I detected. Inquiring to whom was the tribute directed, reply to me, beautiful, simple there came. My son, gently said. Ornamental the name, from elbow to palm, was in cursive made splendid. No father his boy with such emblem befriended that ever before I was granted to see. I'll keep giving thanks for that lesson to me. I'd learned of the lad on my taxi ride travels. The father adventures of childhood unravels. A parable each of a youth who is glad to lead such a life and to have such a dad. What more shall I sing? Though my narrative's ended, I like to imagine how, forearm extended, the parent who waits till the process be done is feeling each moment the love of his son. Hello. Let's begin with a poem right off. This is poem number 3 for day 3. The Lord in Quran, the straight path we're requesting to show us. But Ibn Arabi is suggesting a road looking crooked to mortals below. May straightness reveal that God only can know. There's rarely a veil where a bard is not straying, apparently straightness of aim so betraying. Yet birds in migration, though wandering wide, may southward or northward their journey flight guide. May poets be likened to traveling flyers, whom magnets within show where heart life aspires? Will pilgriming quester, when sallying forth, be led by the Lord to the south or the north? The emblem may tempt. Far too simple, however, we yearning in spirit must learn to dissever unmanifest guidance from what we can see. The Lord alone knows what a poet can be. Hello, this is day 4, and this is the rhythm poet, Martin Bidney, with poem number 4. It's from ancient Egyptian mythology, and it teaches the amazing and beautiful lesson that human salvation lies in beer. Egyptians revive in their comedy spirit. Get this, they had proved our salvation is beer. It began when the sun god grew tired of the folk. The people talked back. They resented their yoke. The lion head goddess, he straightway commanded, devour them. She started to. Humans had landed in quite a predicament. Soon we'd be gone. In blessed contentment the sun god looked on. But then, second thoughts. In his wealth he had wallowed. The hymns and processions of tribute all hollowed what once was all hallowed. He suddenly viewed, and foolish ill temper, convulsively rude. No, stop it! I've altered my plan, he exploded. But Sekhmet, the goddess, with bliss overloaded, was having such fun, she'd the order refuse. Thus Ra she would force to resort to a ruse. Of that, with the finest of beer he'd be filling, and into it lots of red dye would be spilling. Her feasting continued until she zonked out. And that's how a monarch will show he has clout. Hello, this is day 5, poem 5, and it's a continuation, a sequel, a commentary to the one I did last night on day 4, and the subject is father gods in religions. Here we go. With father gods, people had Oedipal struggles, requiring survival. The mythmaker smuggles a hero, a rescuer, into the brew. Such problems afflicted the Greek and the Jew, the Christian as well. Let Prometheus ease us. If Zeus, in bad anger, is planning to freeze us, we'll get from the rescuer plenty of fire and reconcile nicely a rebel desire. God nearly had flooded the world, what a pity, but rescuer Noah was equal to it. He would build for the best an appropriate ark, though creatures unworthy were left in the dark. The Adam seed ransom would need hero Jesus, God speedily summoned, whose project would please us. Redeemer meant ransomer, price he would pay, and those whom he chose he is saving today. These father god legends are often depressing, though heroes come in with their strength for a blessing. We're somewhat relieved, but Egyptians alone brash humor would grant to the heavenly throne. Salvation is beer, folk might often suppose it, but Egypt can show how a father god chose it, and after producing a comedy scene and laughter unloosing, felt better serene. Hello, for day 6, poem 6, I am going to read a poem about Mozart, a concerto he wrote called the Trumpet Concerto, because even though it's written for violin, and I played it on the violin and loved it, the trumpet is what it sounds like, and it seems like it is resounding in a blaze of glory, and then it's never heard from again. This is such a strange thing. I've been thinking about it for the past 60 years or so, and I've got a poem about that topic today. The Trumpet Concerto, the one in D major, is deeply appealing to me, golden ager, who young learned to play it on bold violin. With summons heraldic will Mozart begin. Arpeggio triad, exhorting and forceful, yet such is the horde the composer, resourceful, can muster, that after the call has been made, he other loved treasures will haste to unlade. The call of the trump can awakening blazon, yet after the dithyramb, brave diapason, 'tis wholly forgot, and will never come back. So full is my thought, I'm forgetting the lack. There's more, cornucopial store than a hoarder could ever resort in legitimate order, with rule of the tools in the school to accord. Storms weltering, welling, are heavenly poured. The horses of night, roaring forward in thunder, will blinding arrive in their writhing. A wonder, the seething we breathe as we ride in our might must from the unmanifest come to the light. Poem 7, Day 7. The losses entailed for the lot of us daily can only be totaled when, gravely and gaily, we think of the birds who were lent to the earth that music might soar in their morning rebirth. Each billion of brain cells and neural conductor to burgeoning song life may prove an obstructor. So great are the ramifications which link, big obstacles block what an impulse might think. A robin who joys in matutinal capers will not be distracted by news in the papers, or tunes on computer to stifle his own, or gossip and chatter producing a clone. I'm only beginning, I think, to discover my vocal capacity. God, who's a lover, has wanted to hear a reply that is swift, with voice to rejoice and the spirit to lift. Dear reader, who kindly peruse what I'm writing, a hymn you are hearing, replies I'm inviting. In souls who've not known what has flown me up high, will hope that they'll chant me an amphibrach, die. Poem 8 for Day 8. These poems are effortless, written in minutes, but what am I hearing? Oh, really? A sin it's accounted to brag of your skill and your ease. Let other folk judge you, or not, as they please. Amazing. A trace of what Nobedad told me, and Phantomom, too, how they both of them scold me. Awakened today in a zombie-like mind that never can tell what in graveyard 'twill find. Great Goethe, a poem composed where he stated that arrogance, Dreistigkeit, ought to be rated a mood and a method essential to win the fruit of a virtue that some have called sin. There's no one on earth who before had discovered the amphibrach spirit that over me hovered until, when the time came to ripen, I heard, arise and bring forward the glorious word. Exult means to leap, stringed Davidian lyre, O heart of a barbiton, mind springing higher. Exult and exalt are saltational things. The verb and the season, how each of them sings. Attainers of haught, which is height, may seem haughty, and thought to be nothing, a naught, which is naughty. But arrogance came from to stretch out the hand, in claim or entreaty, I pray, understand. Poem number 8 for Day 8. Oh, wait, this is poem number 9 for Day 9. You know what it is? It's so early in the morning, I'm forgetting it's the next day. So 9 and 9. This is what I've learned, by the way, in 1918. You'll learn in this poem what it was. Whenever a person a word song's inventing, the cheer of the hearer's own heartbeat augmenting, a key he'll have offered that I'll have received as token of one who in music believed. Whoever strathspey on a fiddle has started, or taste of St. Patrick's Day gladly imparted, a deed has revealed that I'm taking to heart. For me have you done it, dear brother in art. Whenever a person has furthered tradition by sweetness of tune to encourage a mission that aims to revive the Shakespearean age, when poet-composer was Orphean mage, and Campion, Doland, and Gibbons were reigning, and Canorous chanter the vanguard was gaining, be sure, as you dance in your canticle spree, I'm with you and of you who've done it for me. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you looked at what I just showed you. It's a picture by my daughter. It says, "See, Dad, I told you I could draw a dinosaur." And down in the lower right, it says, "Dear Dad, hope you enjoy this present. If you do, please tell me. Love, your own daughter, Sarah." Isn't that neat? I'm going to read a poem about it today. I love to have a blast from the past. I gaze at the picture where, "See, Dad, I told you," is written quite boldly, and yes, I behold you a dinosaur nicely could draw as you claim. I think I can even remember its name. Triceratops. Why? Well, you found it appealing that Sarah was right in the middle. My feeling of happiness doubles with memories too. The word and the picture are speaking of you. A note says you hope I'm enjoying the drawing. If so, then please tell me. The creature is clawing its way up a hill, sharpened teeth, armored back, brow lowered, it looks for a morning time snack. And yet one would show psychological blindness to fail to be joyed by the message of kindness and love, your own daughter is written as well. It can't be said better. Of blessing you tell. The moral of today's poem, number 11 for day 11, is if a dinosaur can turn into a bird, anything can turn into anything. Maybe few hundred million years, more or less, but it'll happen. The earliest beak I have learned from the paper has just been retrieved. Evolution's new caper, done millions of years ago, 85. The avian, pleasing, looks nearly alive, and also contented, majestic and regal, with head of the size of a modern-day seagull. Traditional dinosaur jaw muscle shows the source and the forces from which the thing grows. How splendid is dino to bird evolution, though likely the creature a size diminution for higher mobility speed underwent. For humans, a blessed improvement it meant. Our robins, our cardinals flying, endearing, I laud for their moderate size. We'd be fearing the bombs of the waste that a bronto'd let fall, who'd rarely, if ever, be singing at all. If dinosaurs turned into robins, a moral we get from the newspaper fable. A laurel I'll place on the head of the newly beaked bird, and give him the crown of a lyrical word. You tell us who play on the tabret and lyre that nothing stops those whose advance ever higher means melody gain in what lizardly flight may blessed attain on our wizardly height. You saw the beautiful picture, and now I'm ready to read a poem about it. That was my daughter and her two marvelous cats, Otis, who's orange, and Nick, who wears a tuxedo. While Sarah's relaxing with Nick and with Otis, a prominent mood you'll assuredly notice. A perfect contentment enlivening scene. Why, even the felines are smiling, serene. They're brothers, the two of them, Nick being older, although Minnesota in spring can be colder than what we New Yorkers in April have had. We're all marching forward and tranquil and glad. The day cat and night cat with music are calming, attuned to their nature and ours. They are psalming the version of Om that they always prefer. How tranquil the mantra that warms in a purr. And Sarah, so happy, the care she is giving ensures that all three, their condition of living, will savor high-favored, a treasure we trace, conveyed in portraying the time and the place. Poem 13 for day 13. After a long night of work, I've decided just to read something like a lullaby to get me ready to take some rest. Morose in remorse, when the rose and the sorrow, attending the loss of the lovers tomorrow, perpetuate anger, forgetting the thorn, will better the night and make tranquil the morn. Forgiving, forgetting, are getting in giving. When loving is leaving, believing is living. Far liever be left, while the reaving may grieve. The trees, when bereft of their leafage, relieve. If wanting is want, and acquiring is tiring, Nirvana's not one, should the one be despiring. The desperate get inspiration the more, and liking their lack, may the lucky restore. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. For day 14, poem 14, I have no book with me. Instead, I have written something special for you. It's called Happy Holidays to All. To Carolyn, Chris and Gopika, to Robert, Charles, Michael, and Roger, to Marilyn, Jane, Jeff, and Ebb. In my lyrical Eden a lodger, I send amphibrachian wishes. Like you, I am thankful that we, the 21 Life Tribe inscribers, are lively and chatty and free. Let upcoming year grant rewards. May you prosper and flourish. Be gladsome. Each day I look forward to hearing your news and good fortune. We've had some amusing adventures and altering tasks, opportunities fair to speak of and write of and sing of, and always, quite notably, share. Fit with my daily proclivity lyric, I miracle sight which is vivid empiric. My voice triply richer, uncannily grown, has loved that I touch with my sandal the throne. The visit of skill can expand to enrapture, an amplitude thrill I am granted to capture by one that unmanifest chants me to you. We handily channel above, under, through. I feel there awaited a virtue within me that friends in the world of the spirit may win me. I'm threefold the person I knew of before a gift Trismegistel cried, "Open a door!" The limit is liminal, room for the lumen to show both emotion and notion as Newman. A hymn finally sung will be more than a choice, while human, the tongue will divine and rejoice. Today I'm planning for you a little poem just to show how events, 1, 2, 3, just as they happen in everyday life on a sample day, can be made into a word song with hardly anything but transcription and music. We'll fix up a bus in a livable fashion. For travel, both Michael and I have a passion. 3 big frisky dogs who have kept us at home we're taking along. We'll have fun as we roam. How long for the cab? Half an hour, he was saying. Oh, bad. No, it isn't. A little delaying. A wise ancient Roman I long ago read, "I take all my property with me," had said. The driver declared while the taxi was starting, the winter came late. And it's late in departing, like in-laws who ask for a weekend to stay, then never will leave. They are outlaws, I'd say. I like to read giant biographies, and I've read 3 of major American artists, and so I wrote them up in a poem. I'm feeling the joy of a boy who his parents' attention would claim, maybe testing forbearance. My dad would the newspaper read ere we supped. His grave concentration, who dare interrupt? De Kooning, his mother a monster had painted, and even if clients, when shown it, had fainted, for millions of dollars the portrait would sell, the heaven reward of a doorway to hell. The squares Mondrian would in primary colors lay out, would allure connoisseurial colors. Though skeptics aplenty at first would be found, yet sticking it out, he the critics brought round. And bibulous Pollock, in fiend-driven rages, the awed with eruption and ruction engages. He too, like the rest, would perform what before had never been dared in his therapy war. My amphibrachs too, every trend are defying, who regular scansion and rhymes are decrying, may strength elemental attempt to oppose. Yet, nightingale, I am attentive to rose. This is a poem about finding out your own strengths and weaknesses, and after that assessment, you can move forward more effectively. My friend, who'd been told he was tone deaf, delighted in vocal performance. One song had excited his liking especially. Name, Moscow Nights. He asked for my aid. We might aim for the heights. Each strophe four-lined, an auspicious beginning, the first line and second afforded us. Winning, fine pleasure already, we worked on the third, but here little glitches in pitch would be heard. Transition from minor to major in feeling, a subtlety newly emerged was revealing. We stopped by the obstacle, worked on each tone, in hope that with practice our skill would have grown. In phrase of assent, unaccountable straining, he felt it was hard the true pitch to be gaining. He nearer and nearer progressively moved. Said I, higher, higher, but stubborn would prove his own intuition. He stopped and said, no, that can't be correct, and kept singing it low. My tutelage never could have an effect. His guide was inside. All the rest he'd reject. I quite comprehend him. I'll make an admission. My sense of direction is poor. Intuition, with confidence, guiding me blithely astray, repeatedly means I'm not finding my way. Remember yesterday's poem about teaching a friend to sing the song Moscow Nights? I've translated Moscow Nights for you, and now I would like to read it, and then please tell me in your replies how you liked the poem and whether maybe you'd like for me to sing it for you in Russian. I do have it memorized. Moscow Nights. No rustle of the garden, now all's quiet till the dawn alights. I wish that I could tell you how I love these tender Moscow nights. The water stirs while yet unstirred, instilled with pure and silver light. A tune is heard and yet unheard on such a quiet Moscow night. Why do you look aslant that way, from lowered eyes a glance to dart? So hard to say, and not to say, all that awakens in my heart. I see the dawn is coming near, and though I know we now must part, pray keep these Moscow nights, my dear, with summer quiet in your heart. I can't prevent myself from asking, do you think he missed an opportunity? She lowered her eyes and gave him a sidelong glance. I think she wanted to be kissed, and I think he was so busy rhapsodizing about Moscow nights. But you tell me what you think about that. For this concluding poem in our cycle, I'd like to give a little background context. It turns out that Germany's greatest poet, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, commemorated on Goethe Street in Binghamton, was trying to finish Faust after 60 years of on and off work on the topic. He wanted to get Faust into heaven if he could, defying the old story that required the poor guy to spend eternity in hell. And he came upon the idea that the transcendent, the eternal, and the supernal feminine would come to the rescue, as embodied and portrayed and symbolized in the Virgin Mary, who appears in the final act of the drama, very much as she does in the portrait by Raphael that was celebrated at the time and that Goethe had seen. So, in the very last line of Goethe's poem is, Das ewig Weibliche zieht uns hinan, which means the eternal feminine draws us upward, or as I have melodiously rephrased it without changing the meaning, feminine unending is hailing us higher. Here's the poem. Sing feminine unending is hailing us higher, for that's what I'll cite when I sing of desire. Behold Meghan Markle with sparkle in eye, the Duchess of Sussex and spring in the sky. There's nothing more bravely proclaims an alliance while clearing the fog of resentful defiance. When beauty and love turn the world into light, our passion and action are one in their might. For decades the bard in his trials would labor, grim Faust, evil-starred, kept contemning his neighbor. The dreamer entreated some aid from on high, and suddenly Raphael's Mary drew nigh. Who's equal to Venus in all you'd require? Sing feminine unending is hailing us higher. Now 60 years' work to concluding drew near. Deep indwelling presence, he begged, and you're here. Remember, we've been talking about the song Moscow Nights? I translated it yesterday. I wrote about it the day before. And now today I'd like to sing it for you. I brought my pitch pipe. Не слышно в саду даже шорохи. Все здесь замерло до утра. Если б знали вы, как мне дороги подмосковные вечера. Речка движется и не движется, вся из лунного серебра. Песня слышится и не слышится в эти тихие вечера. Что ж ты, милая, смотришь искоса? Низко голову наклоню, трудно высказать и не высказать все, что на сердце у меня. А заря уже все заметнее. Так, пожалуйста, будь добра, не забудь ты эти летние подмосковные вечера.